What is the future for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? Now, there's no question that it's been a highly successful game with over 3 million players on the PC and over now 3 million players on the Xbox, and with rumours that it will be released on PS4 at some point this year. It shows no signs of slowing down. However, where I do love the game, and I continue to play it to this day with hundreds of hours on that game now, I do worry for its future. There are many reasons why I'm worried about PUBG's future, and I want to start out firstly with PUBG's competition. Since PUBG's success, there have been a lot of new Battle Royales on the market, as devs get on the bandwagon for this massively successful game mode at the moment. It's the big hyped thing, it's a fad that's going through the gaming community, and in particular, Fortnite is one of PUBG's biggest rivals. Of course, Fortnite offers a very different gaming experience and a different twist on the Battle Royale genre. Of course, you can destroy cover, you can build, and those are the two main things that Fortnite do very differently to any other Battle Royale, including PUBG. Now, personally, I enjoy the more realistic standpoint that PUBG take. However, the devs do develop the game in a much different way to Fortnite, and I think they have a very different view as to where they want to go with PUBG. Another thing that Fortnite does very differently, which I do think is going to endanger PUBG a bit, is the fact that Fortnite bring in new game modes. Now, then a downfall for Fortnite is then they take that game mode away for a while, and I think Fortnite could really benefit from having the 50v50 mode, for example, all the time. But I also think PUBG could really benefit from having game modes like that, because PUBG as a whole, yes, it's very popular, and yes, loads of people love it, but eventually people are going to get bored of Battle Royale, Everyone does. I mean, years ago, it was arena shooters that were the big thing. Now, arena shooters don't do very well, It was FPS shooters like COD and Battlefield, where they do very well. They're not at the top of the market anymore. Every genre gets outplayed eventually, and Battle Royale will eventually get outplayed. In the next couple years, people will stop playing Battle Royales as much because the fad's over by then. And by bringing in new game modes like the 50v50, Fortnite also did a only silencers mode, an explosive mode. That keeps the game fresh. It's not just constantly 100 people, last man alive wins. It keeps it fresh. It brings in new ideas. And I jumped on Fortnite and left PUBG for a little while when those game modes came out, because I loved the 50v50 mode. I loved the silencer mode, and I loved the high explosive modes. It was so much fun to get out of a really serious, okay, we've got to win this Battle Royale game, and go into a completely new idea that was just really fun to explore. And I've never experienced a 50v50 mode in Battle Royale. That was by far my favourite, and I can imagine 50v50 in PUBG being absolutely brilliant. And I think the devs are a little bit stupid, to be honest, for not adding these game modes in, even if not for a long time, but for a little amount of time. I really do think PUBG could benefit from adding these game modes in constantly, because then that gives people, new avenues to go down. If you're not really fancying a normal game of Battle Royale, that's it, you just don't go on PUBG. Whereas, maybe you're not fancying a normal game of Battle Royale, but maybe you're fancying a bigger, more, epic battle kind of style, so you go for 50v50, something like that. And I really do think that PUBG have really missed something here. They've really missed a great opportunity to add new game modes like that into the game and keep up with the competition. Why is Fortnite gaining more ground constantly? Because they're trying new things, they're bringing new audiences in, and I don't play Fortnite regularly, but when they bring the new stuff out like that, it gets me back into the game, and then I start playing the Battle Royale again. And, if Fortnite continue developing the game more and more and more at a faster pace than PUBG, maybe one day I'll end up going to Fortnite instead of PUBG. I can't imagine it happening anytime soon, but I know a lot of people I know already have gone from PUBG to Fortnite, and now they turn a blind eye to PUBG. And I think eventually a lot of people are going to end up doing that if PUBG don't end up bringing in new fresh content, because at the moment we're having updates, and there's a big update that's come out on the test servers recently, so we're about to have another big update. But I mean, in the last big update, they changed the look of the energy drinks in the in your inventory. Now, a lot of people still complain about how the game runs. A lot of people complain about how the game needs new content. and yet they change a little cosmetic look that I'm sure didn't take very long to do, and they thought, you know what, we might as well throw it in this patch. But to be honest, with a lot of people I know who don't love the new map, I don't love the new map myself, you know, and it is a great map, but the only problem is I think PUBG really focused on, you know, the realism of the map instead of the map for a game, if that makes sense. You know, it's a great map for mods later on, and I will talk about that next. It's a great map for like a survival mode maybe and stuff like that, but the original map, it has a lot less open barren wasteland and has a lot more you know, built up areas where you're gonna find people. And I find myself that on the original map I can find about 5 or 6 people within every half an hour. It's very, the traffic's constant, you're always getting into action, and you're not really alone for very long. However, in the new map, I find myself, I land, I see a couple people. If I land in a busy place, I see a lot of people. I get out of that area, and then I don't see anyone until the final 15 people. And that's just boring. That's really boring. There have been matches where, you know, I've been put onto the new map constantly, and I just want to play the old map for once, and the game's just putting me on the new map constantly. I'm like, okay, well, if I'm not going to play the new map tonight, then I'm just going to come off it. And I just got so bored of not seeing anyone. And then when you do see someone, you know, the chances are they are overgeared, and then you just get fucked. And sometimes that doesn't happen, that's just luck. But it's just annoying when I see about maybe 2 people at the start, then you get out of the area, you see no one, and then all of a sudden at the end, you're in the last 15, and here's someone, I don't even get a chance because I have a Winchester, he has an M24, you know. There has been many occasions like that where it's just made me think, you know what, fuck this game. And of course that's going to happen in a Battle Royale, but my point is, the map isn't really well designed when it comes for a Battle Royale, an interesting Battle Royale, because most of your time is played just traversing open ground and not seeing anyone. That's been my experience so far anyway. Now moving on to the modding, because the developers said they were going to release modding 6 months after the release of PUBG. It released in March 2017, so it's now been almost a year, almost exactly a year, since PUBG released. Now I can understand why they didn't release modding during the early access stage, but now it's a full game, we want to see modding. I really want to see modding anyway, because I see PUBG as such a massive opportunity. The amount of mods, the amount of life you could bring to that game, past the Battle Royale, is insane. Just think of Arma 3, the amount of mods that are for Arma 3, and the amount of people who don't play Arma 3, because it's just really difficult to learn. It took me ages to learn Arma 3, and I'm still not that good at it, whereas PUBG, anyone can pick PUBG up with, you know, about 10 hours of gameplay, you've got it. It's quite difficult to get your hands on, because there's a lot to think about, there are quite a few different controls, and there's a lot to learn. That's my phone. Excuse me, phone. I am trying to do a video! Anyway, so PUBG isn't crazy difficult to get a hold of. Of course you've got that learning curve, but it's not really difficult like Arma 3 is. So anyone can get a hold of PUBG and get the hang of it fairly quickly. Now, if you add mods in there, like a World War II mod, like a DayZ survival kind of mod, I really want to see a DayZ survival kind of mod, please, because that would be so awesome. An open world survival version of PUBG with zombies in it, or with some other threat in it, would be great. Or even with the new map that's being added to PUBG soon, there's a snow map in the works that we've been told. Maybe add the original map, the desert map, and the snow map all into one huge ass map. You've got the snow map in the north, you've got the original map in the middle, and then you've got the desert map in the south, and they just merge into one big huge map. Then add some zombies, then add some survival elements, and boom, you've got an amazing survival mod right there. You've got different environments, you've got a massive map to explore. You know, the possibilities are endless, and I really do think that PUBG by the end of this year isn't going to be as popular as it has been in the last year. You know, it's now coming into its 2nd year of life. It's going to start slowing down. It doesn't show any signs of slowing down at the moment, but, you know, every game has their lifespan, and even the best CODs, you know, have their lifespan. A lot of people don't talk about Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 yet, which in my opinion, and many people's opinion, have been the best CODs in years to come, you know. And those CODs came out a while ago, yes, but my point is, every great game has its lifespan, and I do think that with other Battle Royales coming out, It's got a lot of competition. That brings its lifespan down immensely. PUBG isn't going to last more than a few more years, and I do think by the end of 2018, a lot of people are going to be done with PUBG. If they don't bring new stuff, and by new stuff, I don't mean, you know, new guns and stuff like that. Yeah, that brings people back, but only for a little while. I'm talking, let's release mods this year. That's my big hope for this year, that the devs go, okay, we're now going to release modding, and they must have their reasons for not doing it. I understand that. I'm not a game developer, so I don't understand the ins and outs of it all, but I do think that the developers of PUBG would be stupid not to release modding to PUBG in 2018, because I do think that is going to create a massive, you know, worldwide community spread, because the modding will bring so much more to the game, and the people who are finished with the battle royale will still stay for the survival elements, for the milsim elements. You know, you could have endless amounts of mods on PUBG and its maps. It's got the, you know, it's got the gameplay for it, so why not do it? So I really do think that that's going to have to be the future for PUBG. Even if they bring new game modes to it and they don't add the modding, you know, that will still keep the game alive, and I think that's what they're going to struggle with in the next year. Competing with games like Fortnite, they're going to have to try some new stuff to stay on top, I think. So that concludes my video of what I think the future is for PUBG. I think there's a lot of potential for PUBG, and I'm going to continue playing it in the months, maybe even years to come, but I would like to see, and I would be disappointed if we don't see, some new gameplay elements, and maybe even some new game modes completely, and I would love to see modding this year. If we don't see any of that, and they just continue to bring out, you know, new small patches and stuff like that, of course it's needed, but I do think with the competition, they need a lot more. So thank you very much for watching this video. Be sure to have your say in the comments down below. I'd love to know what you guys think of my opinions and what you guys think the future is for PUBG. So thank you very much. Until next time, I shall say goodbye. Brace for impact. Well, fuck, brace again, counter, go! Beautiful, lads, beautiful. Right, we'll get this guy on our left. Fire! Fire! Fire more! Fuck! Too late to brace, boys. We're fine, look at this.